So what happens? If creation and life is one of a reflection, then the Titanic must have happened before anything else. What actually happened? What could the Titanic have been? Could it have been the island of the Jews that were living out with the other islands? And all of a sudden, from outer space, fell a big iceberg out of the sky. The icicles upstairs, because there's a roof to the universe. And it freezes. And if you go where the heat is, you burn. So you have to stay where the cold is and light your own fire. The Jews lost their island. But they were okay because they were bright. They were full of color. They moved in to the circle of life. Africa. The last of all, building of the animals and the entourage that would bring on this earth today. What I want to show you now, before I tell you, do I show you? When you saw Avatar, imagine all those islands that you saw in Avatar all coming together and tied together. And they tie him and they tie him, and you saw the way they flew upside down. So they live underneath and they live above. That's what they did to this earth. The Jews had no place to go. They came to the new world that was connected. The African king went up to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh was aware from the gods and called them also from his land, because they're separate islands. We're all kings in our island. There is no what we have today. There's one God and the others are all kings, and you decide what you wish. And you live with what comes with it. So the African king, in the 10 Commandments of Moses, walks in to show him beautiful silk and beautiful colors. All those colors was actually telling Pharaoh what's going on with his Jews. They made a contract. God made a contract with Africa, and Africa made a contract with Pharaoh that he should bring up these Jews. Let them work in the fields and feed you. Let them learn what it is to live on the land of gravité. So Pharaoh was interested. It would cost him nothing and he would get much. How much does he have to feed a bird? So Pharaoh took on the contract. And I'm not going to get into how many days and whatever else, how it worked. Moses was born, but it's all in numbers. Everything is coded in numbers. And all the games people play, what you could do, what you can't do. When you get to a light, do you turn left, do you go right? Is there a straightaway? Or is that the end of the road? So what I designed for you right now, in numbers, but out of the Kabbalah, in which the Kabbalah will tell you words without the numbers, and now I will tell you the numbers with the words. But not the Kabbalah words, my words, where you can understand. Hey, how's it going, man? We're in the year 2000. Yeah, those fuckers up there, they wrote a book, but they didn't rewrite it in English. What are we supposed to do? So I'm going to give you the terminology of this. There's 2 on the top. There's 1 on the bottom, but if you can see, there's an area that opens. The reason for that, if you count the rows, okay, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. There's 8 rows for the 8 heavens. I redesigned it. The first one is number 8 for the heavens. It's between 7 and 9. The gate and the birth. They move into the 8. They come down to here. They are now 6 and 5, 11, 7 and 4, 11, 8 and 3, 11, 9 and 2, 11, 29. 9 and 2, 11. Reverse it is 121. 38 reversed, 121. 47 reversed, 121. And 6 and 5 is on a cube. It's number 7. Because the cube is 6 and 1 creates the 7. Because of the 7th God of the Spirit, the 1 crosses the 6. Then moving over here, 8 moves into the house of 11. 8 and 11 make 19. That is the cycle of the moon. That's when the moon opened up from the heavens, when the hole was bored. 13 across from 15 black and roulette totals 28. The 28 days of the moon. Underneath is number 17, and it's the last black connection negative in roulette. The next black you go is the 20, but it's on the other side of the board. So we take the 19 and we add it to the 28, and it is 4 and 7. 4 times 7 makes 28. 4 and 7 make 11, and now we have the last numbers over here, and we have 28 days for the moon. Now what we do is we go down to number 17. No, let's not go to 17. Now we're going to add them. 19 and 15 is 34. O-N-E is 34. And 13 is 47. 47 is Christ in time. 121 is 11 times 11 is 121. M and O. After the first two dice, you have 6 and 1, and 6 and 1 is 14, but you already only need 1 1, as you need only one spirit of life to be here. 15 is the egg. 28, 38, 47, plus 17, 57, 63. 36, 63, 36 and 28 is 64. On your telephone, 6 across from 4, with 5 Jupiter in the center. 6 and 4 is Israel. The 4 corners that are missing over here is the God. That's why you have the 6 and 4. 1 and 1 is 6 and 4. So we have 6 and 4. Now we come down into this box over here, okay? Because we counted this box up. Now we count this box down. Because it's center, it gets all these numbers, plus its number again, because the numbers went into this box. Makes 81. 81 is 9 times 9, which is 81, which makes the 2 I and I worlds, and the 81 parts, of which 41 is in one game and 40 in the other, because in one game, go to jail is not there, and in the other game, when you start, you roll the dice. If you don't throw a 1, you don't go to the Mediterranean. So you got to start off with 1 dice in life. If you get 1, you got 6. If you get 2, you got 5. If you get 3, you got 4. Those are all the numbers on the dice that are opposite of each other. 7, 7, 7, 21. Now we got 81, 19, red, which connects to this one over here, which is 16, but it's not there. I don't know why they don't put it. The shackles are talking not about the full story. I can tell you the story of even the numbers that are missing. This is the 19 cycles of the moon. 1, 2 that were in between. The third one would be 21. It's hard to explain how I got to that, but if you're counting on the dice, each level will be 7. And we're not going to count that. Here we got 21 and 19 is 40, and 40 is the Monopoly board. Plus the 81, we have a total, hold on, I didn't write it down. La, 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 la. We have a total of 121, and 121 is 11 times 11, like we showed from before, how we got 11 and 19. 121, the value in between all this. Now we go down here, and we bring, let me see, I think I made a mistake somewhere, I don't know how I did that. We got 121, 121, 81 plus 4, where's that? 11 by 11. Yeah, just give me a second, okay? I got to check something. 21 and 19 is 40. 81 and 23 is 104. This is 81 and 23. 81 and 23 is 104. 19 is 40. 104. We counted this, we counted this. We counted this, and we counted this. 104 and 40 plus the 81 equals 2. 244, 245, 325. 325 into number 23 is 348. Okay, I'm going to come back. Okay, so now I'm going to show you where we're at. In this box over here, okay, in here, we took this world, 19, okay, and 17 makes 36. That is creation. Now we go on to the other side. There's only one word. It's number 23 that's in the center. There's no more till here, 29. 29 and 23 is 52 of the Mayans, which is 5 over 2. In between is 3. You flip the dice, it's -3 and +3. So I'm going to still start counting the numbers. 104 is counted as 81 and 23, where this cube is 104, which is October 4th, which is my birthday. This is the owner of these two here, of the spirit. The total here is 348. Now we go to the outside here, 25, the outside here, 27. We have the 40 for the game. 27, 25 is 52 of the Mayans, or the quarter turns of the moon, or the quarter of the moon. I'm going a little fast, so 52 plus 348 is 400. Now we come off the board, and we go to the last one. 400 plus 29 makes 429. Now I'm going to explain it to you. $429 is 2 times 29 and 2 times 29 in each world. The 4 comes from Jupiter because it's taking both worlds, 2 and 2. So he multiplies it. You can add it. This 42 is the angle of birth. All the 29s are birth. 429s means 4 birth creations, 4 corners, and the 4th year of the leap year, going from 28 to 29. And 29 reversed is 92, is 121, is 1111. So the final number, what was that final number? 429. 429. 429. Okay. In one of these worlds, it is eternal. 9 and 4. 9 times 4 is 36. All these numbers that I will do with this now will all come back in here, because I took them from here. It's a formula in math. You understand? If you leave your cent, you'll find your cent. It's a formula. How the dice work, how games work. If you had 1 dice or 2, with the 6 down and the 1 up, or the 1 up and the 6 down. So you end up with 429, which is 58 and 58. One of the things about 58 and 58, it totals 116. 116, if I remember correctly, are the initials, okay, of all the months of the year, except for 1 month, which is October, because when you multiply its own initial, and it starts with an O, it's 100. So it moves the 1 over to the next section, saying it's not in the first 2. So it can be in and out. So you have to add up January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. 49 is April to September. October is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. January is the first month. November is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. February is the second month. December is the 12th month. 1 plus 2 is 3. And March is the 3rd month. So all we have to work with is the 4th month to the 9th month. And that is eternal. Those other 6 months that we have, they were added on as they grew the earth. Don't forget, the earth and the sun, of what the earth was before, it wasn't the same. And it wasn't really the same sun. We only get a glimpse of our sun. Just enough to transfer back through the moons the energy of our thoughts so we can pass on through our moon and hit Jupiter with the information. Coming from the think tank of Venus and Mercury. Another thing is, my Mr. Tacpan 7286 minus 5775, the end of the Jewish cycle, and their calendar ends. Why does the Jewish calendar end? I'll tell you real quick. Because there's 9 legs of the cat. Everyone takes up 25, but the last spot, the 9th leg, was used first. Like in baseball, you're going up the visitors first. So it ends 25 years early. 15 times 15 omega eggs. An egg is 0. The value of 0 is 15. To play the game, 15 by 15 is 225. X is 10. O is 15. 7286 minus 5775, in which the 57th letter and the 75th letter say egg, E and G. The answer comes out to 1, 5. The answer comes out to 1, 5, and 11, K. Or, if it was cards, okay, the 11 would be the Jack, so it would be Joe. But there is no 15th card, but there is a 15th full ball, and that's compared to the 7th. So if it's compared to the 7, the 15 is compared to the 7 gives you G. The 15th is the E letter and the A letter. And we have the beginning word of George. J-O-G-E. It'll say George because the French and the English, one says it one way, one says a G for a J and a J for a G. When they say it together, it's George. 15 and 11 equal 26, 6, 22, 6, because it's 2 worlds. This number over here, 7, says I'm first and you guys are after me, but they're not in the numbers. If you decided to choose 8 and put it over here, then 9th and 11 would be after him. 8 would be first, that's his island. 7 owns these 3 numbers. When there's 3 numbers, it's all in their own. It's one from one world, one from the other world, one from the other world. This is the middle world speaking. I've got the middle world on this level, and this world, and this world, and this world is doing this. 15, 11, 1, 5. It also works out, okay, is if you take off 200 years and you go 55, 75, then it gives you another answer. Now, I can continue on and tell you about the chakra and this. This is only the roulette table. That's all it is. But the thing is about the roulette table, can you see the numbers? First box says 58, just like the 58 I showed you before. I added up all the numbers that were in the 1 section, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In the 1 section, I got 2 black and 2 red. Then every other one, I got all the same cycle. 62 showed up in B, 622, 6. Then in C shows up 66, the 2 islands. 70 shows up in D, because 70, 7-0, the O is worth 15 in this world as per circuitry. 7 times 15 is 105. 105 is a representation of the bluff of life, the gap. The man thinks when you think, and you think the number 70 is Mars, but it's in the 4th position, so it's 74. It's your Christ. Mars is a Christ, because you get to go in there and listen to all those bullshit stories, and at the end, what is above is 58. God is above telling you how to guide you in listening to the stories. 74 is the center Christ, plus the 5 that would go in the center is 79. These are all the numbers from the roulette wheel. The number, the total roulette wheel, 666. But if you count these, if you count, oh, where am I going? If you count all these, okay, I'll show you in which way. If you count them all like stars, if you count them all like this, okay, the whole thing will say 1,776. There's more. There's more. I mean, I just can't explain everything to you. There's so much more. 234C, 222B. It says in the C, on one of the lines, the total is 234. And 234 is between 1 and 5. 222 is B. B is the 8th world. Okay, 4 and 4. 4 times 222 is 888. 888 and 888, 1776. 210 amperage. 234 creation, music. 222 beta, the earth. The sounds of the earth. Man's body, the sounds of the earth. We come out of the jungle. God went to every single island to try and find what he can do to create man. There is so much, so much, so much. Ask me anything. Ask me anything. Doesn't say I'm going to, listen, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Okay, but right now, I know a lot. But I know nothing at all unless somebody says to me, right, yeah, I get you, I understand. This is not a thing where you say, oh, this guy's wrong. You can't say I'm wrong. It's a hypothesis. It's in the air. You blow on it, it blows away if you don't like it. You like it, you suck it in with a straw. And you let it go into your mind to see a little bit further. Bring out the fantasy into life. Wouldn't you think you're 2012, 2 years away from the end of time as the Mayans speak? And maybe the Christ is coming. And he's sending messages out to people, one by one by one. And he picked me to send out the message. And he picked others to send out the message. All over the world, the message is being sent out. People like me who never knew what was there, who never really thought that God was really much, but he knew if there was a God, that, you know what, I want to live my life in righteousness. In most cases, of a balance. And I am a balance. And I'm born on the year of 63 creation. I am born the days in the year of the 77 of Christ. The name, Mr. Tackpans, and my names are 74 of Jesus. I have 2 lines on my hand. 2 lines on my hand. One line is there. When I close my hand, you see the line going straight across? See the other one? It's a straight line. It goes right across if you can really see it. I shouldn't have wrote on my hand, but two boats, straight. They're both straight. Both straight. You can't see them, it disappears with the line. Do you know what that comes from? Years ago. You don't mind if I get a drink? You know, when I get into these videos, I pump. And if I don't keep you interested, I'm afraid you're going to run away. I seem to be doing this a little wrong. I don't have to. If you want to stay, if you find me interesting, you're going to stay. You can put it on pause. I need to get a drink. I need a little fruit. You know why? Because I don't eat very much. I eat, but I eat very little. Because when I eat too much, I start to cry because I can't think. My mind isn't connected when I eat. So I have to watch what I buy. And I never wash any of my fruit. It's no good because I'm not pure. And in order to become pure, you have to be a little bit more dirty in certain ways, and being clean at the same time. I don't mind a little dust. The dust in the ground has touched the spirit of the hand of God. You picked up your golf ball, you've touched the spirit in the 800 feet it popped into the air. We've been confused all our lives. God has always been here. But he couldn't speak to anybody because nobody knew how to speak to him. Now I'm going to get a little drink and tell you a little story.
Little story.
So you're there and I'm here, and I'm the storyteller. So I'm going to pick up my book and look back a page. And about a year ago, I designed something. And it was nothing. It was really nothing. And I'm going to redesign it now while I'm talking to you. Okay. Not exactly the way I should. Okay. What happens in this picture is this is the surface of the earth. There's a spring in here, and there's a spring in here. There's water that comes off of here. It runs through the center of the earth, cooling the core of the earth where the black box of energy is for our spirit and communication, and it comes out on the other side, purifying the waters from this side to this side. Now, this comes off of this side, but what happens to this? Or I turn it upside down because they're on the other side. The triangle, okay, where it points, it shows they're on a point and they're on a point. Once you're on the point, you're straight. That's why China's down here and we're up here. We're standing up this way, they're upside down. Have you ever seen the pharaoh? Why the pharaoh used to show that on one side he had a stick with gold and blue, and then he had his long chin with two snakes, and then he had the little thing that was like this. Well, that's the water going through the center of the earth being purified because the spirit is underneath the ground, the earth spirit. The reason why there's war and fighting in the Middle East is because everybody's looking for that spirit under the ground in the Middle East. And then all the fact is, in the Middle East, is the wiring and the connection of the main box, meaning the bull, he's got a horn here and here, Mediterranean, and the Baltic, and in between is the connection. But the whole thing is, the connection goes up and through the South Pole into the North Pole. The box is in the North Pole, but they need to connect Baltic, Mediterranean, and the North Pole. Uranium and nuclear power it defers the energy source. So they can't have anybody else using it on the earth because it's very precise. You're connecting with an outside source, another entity. So they need it. And we need it in our bodies as a source of communication with the one spirit. The dice, the total is 6. If you look at the opposite sides, it's 7. But if you really look at it, the corners double up. So the most you can have is 5 plus doubled corners. The dice is flat. You can hold it in your hand. And you can stand it up like this. If you stand it up and cut it over here, you end up with 2 pyramids. So now when you look at the dice, and I show you like this, you see 3 corners. If I move the dice, you see 1 and 2, but you're not always seeing them. So on one side of this dice, you see 1, 4, 5. On the other side of the dice, you see 2, 3, 6. This is the way it is. Now, if you want to know where you get 7, 8, and 9, you get it with 2 dice. Or, in order to get something, if you have 6 on a dice, the opposite side of 6 would be 1. If you had 2 dice, and both of them were 1, on the opposite side it would say 12, 6 and 6. 12, and then the 2 is 14. The Christ Connect Rubik's Cube. Anyways, we're going to leave it at this for now, And if you want to talk about anything, no problem. If you want to talk about Titanic, that I believe before time, what happened is some of the boats that God was running sunk, or icebergs hit it. And icebergs hit it because there's icebergs above us in the sky. That's why we get hailstones. The sky is frozen above the ozone layer. We're bouncing off the top of the sky, but at least we were put in one spot. And it's Neptune that keeps us up there. Got to stay high in the sky. You don't want to fry down on the ground in the fiery pits. Avatar, same thing. Avatar 1 island, this one 1,000 islands. That's why they have all these words. Las Vegas, Venus, Venus the first sun. Second sun for man in the sky. The third sun is Uranus, sun. 7 planets have the letter U in it, and 2 of them do not, is Earth and Mars. I can go on and on. Now what I'm going to do in my next video is the first 9 numbers in pi, and then I'm going to do the next 18 numbers in pi. And everybody knows if you bring any one of these numbers to the 10 position, 0, it will stop. So if you see a 0 in pi, you stop and start over. It's an end of something, a beginning of something new. We have to understand what our numbers do. 5 is at the train track, and get on the track and go both ways, backward and forward, because it's the 5 dice. The 5 dice is very special, because the 5 dice is made like this. First these 2 dice, then these 2 dice, and then this dice. 3 pieces. 3 pieces to make the 5 dice. 35. 35, 53, 88, 15, 3 plus 5 equals 8, 3 times 5 equals 15, 15 plus 8 equals 23, 2 times 3 equals 6, 2 plus 3 equals 5 equals 11, 34, O-N-E. This dice, this dot, it connects. It either connects these 3 or these 3. 3 and 3. Okay? It is 3 that it connects, but the total is 5. 3, 5. 35 is 35, or C and E. Creation of the electronic world. Reverse it. We have 85. If I want to bring it to the 10-10 world, I will bring it to 75. 75, 7 and 3 is 10, 5 and 5 is 10. Now what can I do with it next? Now if I bring it to the 7 world, 3 and 4, and 5 and 2. Okay, now I'm going to do one more. 10 minus 10 plus. 10 minus 10 plus. I'm trying to think of what I'm doing. What am I doing? I want to do minus and plus. They get minus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 12. Is that what I want to get? We want to go now from the 10, okay, center or 0. We go all the way to 8 is 2, or we go up to is 12. So now we take 42 and 12, it equals 54. The word 54 says love. The word 54 is the fox. Adding up the numbers 1 to 9 equals 54, and it spells the fox. 54 is love. 4 by 5, 4 plus 5, 29. The letters, IT. It means beta and the birth. Her leg is inside Pluto, stretched out. The other one was 101. This one would be 75. This one would be 25. And this would be 0. Okay, in the other scenario, this is 0. Minus, on this side 25, you get 75. You add 25 to this side, you get 25. Take away 25, add 25. You're at 0. If you take away from 0, you're at 100. You're going down to 75. If you add at 0, you're going to 25. The 0.25 days in the year is right here. Because this 25 is the 25 that goes for the 3 parts, 3 corners, okay, that you need of life. 25, 25, 25. That's what you need. The other one is you need the hands of time, God. Anyways, we did this, we brought it to this, 85. 75 brought it to the 10-10 world. 42, 4 and 3 is 7. 2 and 5 is 7. The alter ego. The 2 together equals 77. The alter ego of Christ. 42 and 35 equals 77. Now, it's also 35 and 53, so I'll do them both because you have to count all the numbers. It equals to 95, and the equivalent to 95 is man. Where is it? The equivalent to 95 is the birth into the E-world. The birth into the E-world is 5 plus 32 equals 37 plus 58. Now 37 is 5, the first train. Come around the whole Monopoly board back to the same train. Then we add on, then this equals to 37. 7 times 3 is 21, which is 1 cube counted, 1 to 6. 7 and 3 is 10 in the 10 worlds. You add the number 58 to this. Why 58? Because, let me see, why 58? Why 58? 37 plus 58. Where did 58 come from? 85, 58. 58, 58, 58, 58. I don't know where it came from, but I'll just continue. Okay? 37 plus 58 is 95. 95 is the number I just told you, right over here. 53 and 42. 9 by 5 is 45. And if you want to do that mathematically, add 1 to 9. 5 times 9 is 45. 5 plus 9 is 14. It equals 50. It equals 54. Did I say that again? 9 times 5, 45. 5 and 9 equals 59. So instead of it 95, the true number of this, okay, the positive number of this is 59. Not 95. It's the upside down world of communications. When you take the 15, the 35, okay, take the 35 and use it, split it. 3 plus 5 is 8. 3 times 5 is 15. 8 and 15, 23 creation. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5 equals 11. Spirit, angel, and man. 6 and 5. The 2 worlds of 3, of 2 and 2 lives. 23 and 11 equals 15, 14, and then 5 equals 34 equals 34. 23. Anyways, 52 is the number of the spirit. His total spirit number and the position he plays. He plays 1, 10, 19, and 28. His number is 58. The number 2 plays from 2, but wait, I'm talking about the word 2. TWO is a 58 count alone, because 1 goes and plays in 2. They get the same number, but they also have to add 2's numbers, because when something goes into 2, it's come from the left and come from the right, and 3 are in 1. 3 are in 1. Now we got 3 to 1 odds. We can talk about gambling. We can talk about pi. We can talk about stars. And you want to talk about the Big Bang. Or you want to talk about movies that were confusing. I can always have a story. But if my mind is right and everything is true, then I will have basically the story of which I heard from my father a long time ago. before any man stood foot on earth. But it wasn't that I was alive. I was only a brain. I was only rolling around and having fun all the time and closing out the lights. And every time I closed the lights, the battery went off in my cell. And I went to sleep. And then it would turn on every day because the light would come from outside. We were energized from the sun. The sun kept us going. So we didn't care if we were in any bodies because we knew we were waking up the next day because we knew the sun was getting up. Because if the sun didn't get up, then everything is lost. We die anyways. Everything goes away. 81 worlds plus 3. (81 minus 2). You need one on the outside, and one of them on the outside, and I'll show you what I mean. Is this triangle and this triangle. This is one tribe. They have a bigger tribe because they have a bigger territory. Now what you do, you add in your next tribe. So now you got 3 triangles. Bow tie and a bib. You're almost ready to serve. The cat's here for dinner. All pictures, all design will always turn into some kind of design because they do it that way, because if creation was like that, everything looks good. Everything looks good because we grew up as creation was going, seeing when everything has happened, and hey, look at a doll, and then we just modified it. So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9, but let's see what you have on the outside. 1, 2, you have 3 on the outside, and 1, 2, 3 on the outside. And this is the world we live in, the Magen David. 3 and 3 worlds. Protected, protected, protected. The only thing you got to watch out for is this. Do you know why? You know why the bear sleeps for the winter? Because all summer long, God's outside, okay, chipping away at the ice, chipping away at the ice, chipping away, and it starts to rain. And you know, it's a problem in the summer because everything drips from the ice that's above us. You know, so God's got to work, but in the winter it's colder, and the ice doesn't melt, so he can take a nap and take a couple of months off. You can wake him up, but don't bother him for nothing, because he's been working for everything, and everything he's been working for, he hasn't missed anything, so you don't need to ask him. All you have to do is ask yourself something, and just believe that the truth is there. If you think of evil, then it'll be evil. If you think of good and you know God is with you, and he's never left you, you will smile. You will go to sleep in peace. It wouldn't matter what tomorrow is actually like, because God did the best he could for you. And you have to do the rest. Raphael, 7286. I'm going to be doing 10 Numbers in Pi, a little bit of Bob Barker, and some other shows if I could, just to bring back what the games of Bob Barker were all about, and the evolution of man and the coming of the Christ, because God knew that in this day and age, so many people have been tricked that the only way you can tell them the truth is by showing them 1 and 1 is 2, and 10 times 10, and they get a calculator, and you give them the alphabet in front of them, and I mean, you can't make a mistake. All they have to do is add it up. You tell them what the things mean at the beginning as a base, and then they make their own base, because the numbers will reflect on each other, bringing back a balance in the definition from both ends. So you can make your own surname on what or synopsis on what's actually going on and coming out of my mouth. I'm telling you, this is it. Like I said in my previous video 8 months ago, I also thought September 15th to the 22nd was it, but I was absolutely right. Between the time of the pig's pregnancy, of the moon shadow, and the eclipse back in May on the other side of the world, brought to me 114 days later the ability to connect to some kind of vibration that I'm able to know things just because I know how to calculate the balance of the word. The word is the situation it was in. You fell down, you got shot, you got hurt. They're all concrete. You're telling me something happened. Now there's a game to play. Where do I go? I have to be an inspector. Now I inspect the pieces, and now I have to know what the pieces mean. If I don't know what the pieces mean, and whatever I inspect, it means nothing. Time has come. Hanukkah. How far is Hanukkah from here? I had a calendar. Let's check on the update. You know, if I was Christ, I'd be an explorer in my early life, but then he got hung to the cross. Thus, if I was Moses, I would think of the circle of life when the Africans brought us in. Pharaoh, will you take care of my friends? They're new and they're young, and they call themselves the I family, the family of I. And they all have a wish to come here on earth. Pharaoh, will you feed them at the beginning? They will repay you, I promise. I will bring you great gems from out of Africa, another island beyond the sky. And Pharaoh agreed, and he fed the Jews. And the Jews prospered, and they studied their Bible. They were allowed to study their Bible. It was theirs. Pharaoh knew it didn't make a difference. Pharaoh knew there was only one God. But then the Jews got smart, and now Pharaoh was suspicious that the Jewish God was now maybe real. Now he put them to pressure. He made them need them. Somehow he made them need them. But during all this time of the bondage, one set of Jews was allowed to be left out. The hands of time to write the books, to bring on the duality, the connection, by just sitting at home and reading. And then came time when Moses led them out of the desert. And now it was time for them to live. But there weren't many. There were hundreds maybe on the island. And all he had to do was feed them, and then the Jews would feed Pharaoh back. But Pharaoh got really, really, really hot under the collar, because he knew the contract was up. And when the African king came to see Pharaoh and showed him the great strands of beautiful velvet, silk, the colors on that were red, saying, "Let my people go." Look at what they showed. The purple, okay, like the Los Angeles Kings, is for an incoming, something new. But Pharaoh didn't let them go, and he made it hard on them after that. And then they got so fucked up in the head thinking they had to be there that they couldn't leave, because they would get killed. And they were all for one and one for all. And they were put there, and they were told under the contract, this is what it's like. And they were also told that this is what Pharaoh might do. But you know what? When the story is so screwed up like that, and no one's ever been a slave really in this world, they all laughed. I'm going to be doing pi in my next video. I just want to tell you, if you want to look at something, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Give me 2 of those numbers, and I'll tell you. Number 1, 34. Number 2, 58. Number 3, 56. Number 4 is 60, which also equals 90. Number 5 is 42. Number 6 is 52. Number 7 is 65. Number 8 eternal is 49. Number 9 is the same as number 5, 42. I'm not sure of my colors yet, except for white and black. White being 65 and black being 29. Black says the mother of the earth is black. That's what it says. The mother of the earth is black. Black. If you want to talk about black people, white people, Beta's black. God on one side is black, that's guaranteed, but on the other side he's red. So we have to flip around the games to see which real color. This is the game of roulette. Where else was I? If I add 1 and 2 together, just what I'm talking about is the letter count placement in the alphabet. 1 and 2 added together 58 and 34 makes 92. 92 is the birth. Is all the birds. All the birds. Whatever she can make into this land, Beta, whatever she can make into this land survive. But the dinosaurs, no. The hailstones, why are the hailstones so big? Because they come off from above in the sky. And they're already big. It's icicles in the sky, tons and tons of icicles. Okay, God's always chipping away so we don't get hit with too many of them. That's why this earth, to look out, it's all on a slant. So when the icicle hits, it slides that way. But once it hits the window of the icicle, it makes a rocking sound. Okay? The earth now is starting to make a sound because it's starting to squeak. We've run out of what you can call mouse energy. That keeps cleaning the corners. Because in the corners, when stuff gets caught, it sort of makes the earth, and it, like it's stuck. A beehive, number 92, and look at the letters. The heart is 2-letter R's in Hebrew. I don't know which letter it is, but I'm going to look. In English, it's the 18th letter. But it's the small one, but that's okay. Depending how you draw it, whether you draw it with one line, you got to know. You got to take squares. If you can't make it in a square, if you can't find the middle of a square, okay, if you can't find the middle of a square, let's say you want to draw a line down the middle, right? Just to find the center, to see if your wiring is good enough. So what you do in order to go down, okay, what they did is they did this. The hydro pole. See the center? That's where it strengthens on the points and the center on the points, but at the same time it shows you the points to go all the way down. So what I do now is I'm going offline because the signal is not staying inside the old world. I'm sending a signal inside the new world. So he goes offline in one world to open up in the next world, because the next world, which is the two world, has a line to the other world that he just closed off at. She has 2 lines. If he closes down, she's there. If she closes down, he's there. God A, B, C. He's got 6 corners. Magen David, 6 points. He's always online. The Magen Davids are like a girdle. It goes around and around, and he always puts his point. The spaceship, okay, it swings inside of itself. When somebody wants to come from the back to the front, and instead of putting an elevator straight, they just turn it. Because everybody knows 1/2 turn is a whole turn. You brought the front to the back and the back to the front. That's all they wanted. Although they didn't come back again, making another 180, they still went straight to where they had to go. They went around. Or, you can do it a different way. You can flip them. You can lift them on one, and then bring them down to the other. That's why everything's on an angle. So instead of having to make that big move, you just go back 1, forward, and down 1 level, like this. I can show it to you. So anyways, the other thing I wanted to show you is 75-25. At the end of the year, we have 0.25 days left over. 0.25 days here, 3 here. The difference is this goes into this 3 times because it's only part of creation 3. How can I explain it better? I need to turn it into another number. 25. This is a quarter, and this is 75. Is that right? Minus 75 plus 25, 0, 7, 13, 704. I'll just show you this one. 7, 0, 13. This is R and N. 7, 0, 7, 0. 1 and 3 is 4. 704. Calling of the Christ. See the way the Spirit was able to go straight down in the center? Made no mistakes. No freestyle. You see, although this is the center, you can't live on the equator, because the equator is the railroad tracks. Okay, it's part of the system that's outside of our space, and we can't see it. This hat, and this hat, and this hat, and this hat, that's the hat of Jack. Can I find Jack? Hey, Jack. Hey, Jack. Okay. You see it? This is the 6th card. All the cards are made to be stars. All made to be stars. The 8th card. The M, the feeding at the top, the feeding of the flowers at the top, how they fed to the bottom, and now at the bottom, if you take a look, you see this? They fed it in here, and here is drinking it to here. This also has to do with your mind, how your mind works. 4 on the outside, 4 on the inside. 48, the number 48, 7 by 12. Then there's the 8 card. I didn't do them well, I know, but see the dot on the top in the card? It's not there. You see these 2 holes, the moon, when the moon turns, if the key was here, it goes around here, then it goes around here, and it goes around here, and it goes around here. You see the moon, but the cards are on this angle, so it's not the same thing. This one, the one in the center is striped. There's 3 eyes. This is the 9 card. The 9 card is not like the other cards. This card directs, because it has spirit, it's a diamond card. It connects all over. The diamonds show their pattern. You can see in this world that everything is on an angle, and the Queen's hat is on an angle. She's showing this here. Maybe if I make it darker. Make it a little darker. No. Anyways, it's the letters 1 and 2 and 5. In this card, center, take a look. See, it's a 2 and a 5 and a 2 and a 5. Do you see? Dead center, right where the gold is on each side. 55, 52. Now I show you his hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 connections. One connects to here, that connects to here, it connects to here, and it connects his hat to his head. If you notice his chin, this thing removes. Okay? These are cards. See the clubs here? Clubs on both sides. Clubs means 3 parts. He's holding the flower. Okay? He's in the game. You see the hat on this one? Same thing. 1 eye only. This one, 2 eyes. He needs 2 eyes, one to go and one to come back because he's the spirit. He goes and he comes. He has the yellow energy all over himself. Okay? He's washboarding all the information so he can bring you back so you can think better. Let me see if I have this little picture. I was going to show you how the Earth is split and sewed together in, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The Earth is sewed in 28 places. The Earth's divisions. So the Earth divisions, according to what I have here, is in 28 places. Okay, I don't know where, I don't know what. I just thought of it now, so therefore I'm going to have to study it and find out what it is. But the 28 positions also gives the 28 days of the moon, and the number of countries that went to the Olympics this year. That's the way it works. When God's sending you a message, He works from what you heard or what somebody else who gave you the message. That's the message you needed to get. Otherwise, you went down that path. So 28 Earth divisions, 28 days. Like I'm saying, 4 corners of the world above, 4 corners of the inside, 4 for the center, 4 below. So, let me see. Oh, here it is. There's Jack's hat. Top, bottom, closed on each side. This is where the water comes in. The water comes in here. It rises, it rises. It rises. When it gets to here, like in a bathtub, it starts pouring off back onto the earth. On this side and this side. It also comes into the center. Here's your egg. Could be half a moon. Okay, you can call it what you want. But when you split an egg in half, and the value is 15, it ends up to be 75 on one side, 57 on the other side. In 2 years, that's a Jewish calendar. The 5775 is 75,075 or something moons, 75. It says egg. It's 13, 1 and 2L. All the numbers have come together. 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. 3, 6, 9, 12. 2 sides, 6 and 6. Touchdown. 1 passageway. Once you get through the passageway and you knock out into the end zone, you get to kick it, the extra point. So you go back to pick the extra point from here, and you have to kick it over here. Why over here? Because here is the center of the post. Here is the bottom of the post. You hold the post up, and the forks go here to kick your field goal. Anyways, I wasn't going to bring that up. I don't even know where I am anymore. It's an hour, eh? It's really sad. So many numbers. Doesn't matter if you're wrong, because while you're wrong, okay, you've already made another position saying, okay, we're going to put this card over here. Doesn't matter if it's wrong, like making a puzzle. We're going to put this card here. Oh, that piece, I remember touching it. It's over there. I'll go get it. Wrong in the world. Where the mind is seeking. Wrong. Make everything right, spelled with an R. Make everything wrong, spelled with a W. Because when it's not right and it's wrong, you created something different. A new word in its own. And you can have its own definition. 23, all the numbers. The only way to get 8 is with 2 dice, or 3 dice, or 8 dice. You can't get any number at all unless you have the number of dice. 6 dice says, I have 6 dice. Every expression is expressed in its own, but it's not that. It's what happens is 1 to 6 on the first dice, 2 to 6 on the second dice, 3 to 6 on the third dice. Stop. Now you're the next level. 4th level, 6. 5th level, 6. 6th level, 6. 7th level, 6. 8th level, 6. 9th level, 6. Now, 7, 8, and 9 must be made with the 2 dice. So what you do is, we're not going to do the 7 because that's the perfect dice. But the 8 is 4 and 4, or 5 and 3, or 6 and 2. Those are your combinations. There's not that many combinations. There's 3 and 3 and 3 and 3. There's not that many. The roads are really small and narrow. Once you get the numbers and you know how they work, you can go down the road a long way. But for now, Raphael 72, 86. You know what I believe? I want to have a dream tonight. And in the dream, I want to see that somebody won the election, but before Christmas, Ron Paul was standing up in revolution, and that's the only man they wanted. That Ron Paul ended up taking over the chair to run the U.S. government. Wow, wouldn't that be nice? What a dream, eh? What a dream. Just started to rain. It's not for me, this. This is just a story, just a book, just a story, not even a story, just something I thought of. And I have a lot more. I have tons more. Except it's in the memory bank above the moon. I don't know if the moon will let me in tomorrow. I'm a little scared. I won't know anything extra tomorrow like I knew today. I learned so much today. I picked up my pen and my paper, and I started to write. And the more I write, the more I grind it in. Which way am I going to go, and what am I going to say? What will I know? What will they learn? The totem pole and the Indian, the African man and the Haitian man, the Indian man, the gods, the Greek gods, the Pharaoh gods, the plates, the jewelry, the diamonds. I know nothing about that, but if you show me the numbers or how it's done, I'll see the shape that they took to break open. I know the number of that shape, and therefore it's got a place in history. Raphael, 72, 86. I did it tonight. I pray I can do it tomorrow, because I pray that I do it tomorrow, and God knows I'm not selfish about this, because I'm not praying just for me. Because I know that if it only goes good for me, the sides will fall down because it fell down on the others, like you. I'm doing this for me, my son, my ex-wife, my parents, my brother who I'm not too fond of, my sisters that we don't really get along 100%, but I love them all because they don't see. They can't see. They don't see this road that I'm on. I'm on a different road. And I want to believe that it's a true road. It's a high road. But you know what's fantastic about this road? Is before you do anything, you have to read the 10 Commandments. Not to kill. Remind yourself you have to eat and take care of your body so your brain will work. Keep your house clean. Try to stay away from all danger. You can drive all right, but don't speed. You don't want to get caught. If you follow and take showers every day and get to work, wake up a little extra late, but that's okay, and some days a little extra early to make yourself feel good. 7 years ago, 5 months, it all started. On the 21st of December this year, it'll be 7 years, 7 months, 15 days. On the eve would be the 15th day. 7, 7, 15. 7 times 15 equals 105. 7 times 15 equals 105. 7 and 7 equals 14. 19th, 20th, 21st. 105. 105. Let me see here. 105. Here. Okay. Let me see. 105. 105 Celsius equals 221 Fahrenheit. The total is 442 plus 14 equals 456. Okay, sorry to go away from the camera. Okay. Sorry to go away from the camera. But what it was 7 times 15. And 7 times 15 equals 105. If you count the ace all the way up to Big Slick and Poker is the ace becomes the 14th card and the cross of Christ on both of the islands of 7. The Christ meets up on both of the islands. Bring it to Fahrenheit, the number of the passage, 2, 2, and 1. The 5. Meeting, 2, 2, and 1, the 5. Who are they picking up? 442, the four island of the two spirit, both doors, and 14 from the sevens it came from. 14 plus 442 equals 456. O. McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, D-E-F, F-E-D, the federal government. The federal government, okay, the way I see it, whichever government I'm not talking about, is that if there's a calling on the 21st for the Illuminati, then it's the Illuminati that's going to send out the signal, and not God. God's not coming. Not unless man sends out the signal that he's going to take over. Then God has to come. That's the signal. And they need nuclear power to reach the outer energies of space. That's why they don't want any nuclear here. It's not about the nuclear war. Everybody knows they don't want to put nuclear war. Everybody knows everybody's going to die. If there's a sick guy, he shouldn't be there. These sick people in the world that are running countries shouldn't be there. 456 on your telephone in letters, okay? In letters, let me see if I have my phone here. I don't have my phone here, but in letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the letters that come with 4, 5, and 6. With this, 4, 5, and 6, 4 and 5 is 9, plus 6 is 15. The 15 times 7 is 105. We're back to the same 15. 6 by 4 is 24, which is X in Roman numerals. It's 10. Otherwise, it's 24. 24 and 10 is 34. 3 and 4 is 7. That means this connects. This is the McDonald's sign. All I did is take off these corners. It says Roman numeral 4, Roman numeral 6. Roman numeral 4 and 6, same thing. This is Jupiter. This is the alter ego. And 6, they've meeting back, man versus man, in the time of the opening of the moon. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 6 is 120. 1 plus 2 is 3. Omega 3. So if it's omega 3, it equals 45. If it's 45, it means it's at 1:30 on the clock. 1:30 on the clock, okay, is one way, and 1:30 on the clock the other way would make 3 hours. And that's the number of creation. That's what's coming in right now, and that's why it's on that date. It's not that God only chose that date, but so did the evil ones who were allowed to come here to choose. Because this is the land of you got to do the best you can and don't hurt anybody or get in anybody's way. It's the wild, wild west, and it's turned ugly. Because the part of the rest of the world that wasn't wild is now laid to rest. So we get the letters, 4, 5, 6. Let's start with JG. J is the 10th letter, and G is the 7th letter. The dice cube is the 7. The J is the 10, it's a square, and the M is 13. 13 is what's inside the 9 world. This is the 9 world. Just in short, okay, 1, 3 on your phone. I put 1, 3 right here, right? 1, 3 is a 13. Comes together as 13. In between is B. But you don't live in between the corners. You have to go down to the center. Because what's in between will go down to work everything on the outside. Now, where we go? H and I, GH and I, 7, 8, 9. 7 plus 8 is 15. Plus 9 is 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 10 plus 11 and 12. 10 and 11 is 21. And 12 is 33. 3 and 3 is 6. M is 13. N is 14. 27. O O is 15, 42, 4 and 2 is 6. ABC, 1, 2, 3 equals 6. DEF, 4, 5, 6 equals 15, 1 and 5, 6. GHI, 7, 8, and 9 equals 24, 2 and 4 is 6. JKL equals the 10th, 11th, and 12th letter equals 33, 3 and 3 is 6. MNO, not the P, 3 letters, MNO, when you add them together, it adds up to 13, 27, 37, 42, 4 and 2 is 6. Now we're going to put the next one, PQRS. Now we're going to go down to here, PQRS, 16th and 17th letter, 33 of Christ, 18th and 19th, 37 of creation, because 3 and 7 are crisscross over here, the angle of creation. This looks like PANS, but anyways, 16 and 17 is 33, and 18 is 51, and 19 is 61, 70. TUV, the 20th letter, the 21st letter, and the 22nd, 22, 21, is 63. Now we have WXYZ, 23, 33, 43, 47, 57, 67, 72, 82, 92, 98. It ends at 98. 98 is eternal. It's the last 2 in the 10 worlds, which makes everything come back and come back and come back. This is the result. Everything up to here was 6. Okay? The minute you got to the 7th key, you had 4 numbers that equaled 70, the 7th gate. You got to 8, you had 3 numbers, letters again on the phone, but each was 63, creation of man. 8 is the heaven. The transmission of UV, your life. W, the beta creation of X, Y, and Z, is what created everything. That one is 98. That's the highest you can get. 9 plus 8 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8. That is the queen. 9 times 8 is 72 of Mr. Tackpans. And the 1010 world of that is 21. And the reflection is the 1010 world, the reflection of 98 is 21 or 12. It equals 33. 3 and 3 is 6. 9 plus 7 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. So all you're getting is 6s, and then 7, 8, and 9. Oh, praise the Lord, oh Lord, oh baby, man. Oh baby, man, if this is true, just come, just keep coming on in. Keep coming on in. I want to see those golf balls from the sky come into my head. I want to see those birdies. Let me see those birdies. Hit me in the head again, God. Hit me in the head again. Let that stuff come on in. This is powerful. Powerful, man. Just an energy. I don't know. This is crazy. It's slow motion, but it's crazy. You have to fill it up. You have to think. You have to think. I've never had this before. I never knew this existed. What do I do? Without going crazy, what do I do? I'm bipolar. Make sure I take my pills. Gotta take my pills. Shh. This is the situation I'm in. The situation I'm in is something that everybody says has happened to other people. Now it's happening to me. I have tough dreams and I have great days, but what's going on, if people don't believe that any of my stuff, it's just a book. I'm just writing a book. Take Celsius from minus 99 to plus 99, if I remember. Let me see Celsius again. Fahrenheit. Let me do this. Let me see. 15, 84, 85, 86. I just took 854 Celsius into Fahrenheit, and the total of the last two letters, okay, in numbers, and that add up to 5. It always adds up to 5. It always adds up to 5. Anything in Celsius and Fahrenheit will always add up to 5 because you're alive. It's your train and your brain. Man, can I talk? And there's numbers. There's so many numbers. I don't remember them all. And I can, and I'm stuck, but when somebody starts me off fresh and I clean up the cobwebs in my brain and go fresh, just lose all that bullshit and go on to a new subject. Out of Africa. Moses is still alive. Christ lives. I'm not sure where everybody hangs out, but the Never Ever Land, or the single islands outside of where we are, hundreds and thousands of islands living on their own, only their families, so they know there's only so much you can grow. Unless you need to get more space, then the Galactica will give you more space if you have earned it. Otherwise, you have to crush yourself until you learn. It's a system that makes things work. And we're in it, and it's really weird. Raphael, in the constellation of Pegasus, above and below, I go around. Thank you.